Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily God Gems with Lisa Renee. The word Sabbath is usually associated with a day of rest from work that often includes activities such as communion with God, worship, and going to church. When we dig into Scripture, we find that there is a Sabbath that was, the Sabbath that is, and the Sabbath that is to come. First, let's look at the Sabbath that was. After God completed the work of creation, he rested from all his labor on the seventh day. He blessed it and made it holy, as we read in Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 through 3. God wove a day of rest into the very fabric of creation. Next, we come to the Sabbath that is. Through Moses, God gave the commandment to rest on the seventh day, just as he did during creation, as we read in Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 10. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath day of rest, dedicated to the Lord your God. Our God knows the tendency of his children to be consumed with the cares and responsibilities of this world. And he knows that without rest, those cares and responsibilities will wear us out, not only physically and mentally, but spiritually, as it chokes out the word. Jesus teaches this in Mark chapter 4, verse 19, as he shares the parable of the sower. The cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches and the desires for other things enter in and choke the word, and it proves unfruitful. So to protect us from our human tendencies, God gave us the gift of rest. Jesus tells us in Mark chapter 2, verse 27, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Jesus is explaining here that the Sabbath day of rest was made as a gift to serve mankind, and man was not made to serve the Sabbath. The Sabbath day was established as a blessing. Finally, let's look at the Sabbath that is to come. Before the beginning of creation, God had a plan for mankind, and that plan was established in the pattern of 6 days of labor, followed by a seventh day of rest. Before creation, Satan was already sentenced to be cast down to earth and would be influencing mankind with his evil schemes. God knew our weaknesses as flesh and blood. He knew that we would fall victim to Satan's devices. So God set a timetable to rescue us from the sin and death that Satan brought on earth. This timetable would culminate in putting Satan away for 1,000 years, as we read in Revelation chapter 20. Just as each week of labor culminates in a seventh day of rest, mankind's 6,000 years of labor against Satan culminates in a millennial rest after the return of Christ, just as we read in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 9. There remains then a Sabbath rest for the people of God. During these 1,000 years of peace, it will be a time for creation to freely honor and worship God without persecution, without distraction, without suffering, and without death. As we see, a much deeper purpose and plan was in the works when God first rested on the seventh day of creation, on the Sabbath that was. This plan is rehearsed each week of our lives as we enter the seventh day of rest, the Sabbath that is. And this plan will culminate in the millennium, the Sabbath that is to come. As we look forward to the greatest Sabbath rest of all time, let us remember God's established plan as we enter the seventh day each week. A blessing for all creation and a faithful promise for the future. Everyone have a wonderful day, and may God's love and peace be with you.